dying outside and all that bullshit.
When are we going to start doing that to people? It's kind of getting
We
out of
already
hand.
do that to people, I think.
Do we? Where?
Oh, you mean vaccinating them, sterilizing them, and then
Yes.
letting them back into the homeless camps?
Yes, exactly.
I think some people do that, to be fair.
Rounding up homeless people to sterilize them and then release them back into being homeless.
I feel like we've probably tried that here in America a couple of times, unfortunately.
It sounds like something that like China would do. It'd be like, yeah, if you're homeless.
China, I think maybe Japan has done this too when they went from a feudal society in the 1860s to a modern society in the 1940s.
Is that up there with the rape of Nanking as far as things that they just don't talk about at all and they're not ever going to admit to?
Well, I was watching something about it was about Rurouni Kenshin, and the guy was explaining the social structure in feudal Japan and how that is still, like, the echoes of it are still sitting in their current thing. And he was talking about the bottom rung, because there's like the Eta and like another group of people. And this is coming from like a Buddhist echo that says you're not supposed to handle dead things.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So people like butchers, leather tanners, and grave diggers, which, kind of are essential jobs.
Yeah. You have to have one of those.
But these people were literally looked at as unclean.
Yeah.
By societal standards.
If I was a grave digger, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I probably am pretty unclean on average.
Leather, food, and somewhere to put your dead are generally important things.
I thought you were about to say leather, food, somewhere to put your dick. And I was like, yeah. All right. A whole nother reason that they could be unclean.
Well, if that's what your grave digger's up to, he is unclean, and you are well within your rights to discriminate against him. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Doing it because he digs graves as a birthright, not cool. After what he did to Meemaw, though, you are well within your rights to go ahead and discriminate against that specific gravedigger.
Yeah, that guy, not the class.
Not the class. Yeah, it's fine
guy.
though. I think that's something we need to bring back to tolerance is hate.
Welcome to the AnythingCast.
We need to remember that tolerating people based on their, sex, race, religion, social class, etc. That's all well and good, but remember, we're all capable of being just absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
and that's not because of how you were born. It's the decisions you made. You should be treated thusly.
There's a rapist and a Nazi living in everyone's tiny little heart somewhere.
Yeah,
just screaming in German and and just sticking a toddler on his dick.
And those of us who let that guy out, deserve to be ruthlessly punished. And I'm fine with that. It's kind of like the thing, no one would give a fuck about what happens in the prison system if we had a 110% verification process and we knew it was all just fucking rapists and murderers and shit.
Yeah, kind of like the way that just the Holocaust. Like the Holocaust, obviously they were all Jews, so we had a 110%.
Jews, the disabled, gypsies.
Yes, yeah. You got a 110% perfection rate there. Welcome to the AnythingCast, by the way. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
And
Will died again.
Will's... God, why he keeps doing that? He keeps doing it.
We're growing a new one in the vents.
Yeah,
It's old callback there.
Yeah. That's 100 episodes ago. Are you the type of guy that if you...
The type?
Yeah, are you the... Well, that was very close, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Careful now.
Are you the type of guy from Israel?
We're getting monetized now.
Kind of. Yeah, the channel got
can't
monetized.
say the K word in the first 30 seconds or whatever the fuck.
Well, thank God we're 4 minutes in somehow.
Oh, okay. I have no idea how many minutes in before you can start
saying slurs.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's any particular amount into the podcast where they're like, you know what? After you get past the 60-second mark, just let the hard R fly. Just let it go. Then again, they do have black people who are on YouTube. Big surprise. But
God,
why are they able?
Black people on YouTube
The
now?
Browns. The Browns.
My God.
They even had one on this channel. We had Noah on this channel.
Noah?
Yeah.
Noah, the black man.
I feel bad for...
Fuck Al. I mean,
actually, yes.
We got a real black man, Noah.
Yeah. Yes, Noah, the truly... I mean, the Mexican is the modern-day black man of America, so that is... I worry about him.
Is the Mexican not the black man now?
Yes.
Is the word not the meaning of the word of the meaning of the blah blah blah?
Which
Because
word?
Fuck, why do
Which
words even
word?
mean
Which
things?
one?
What are we using fucking words for, Patrick?
Yeah, which word?
What do words fucking mean anymore?
I was tempted to just scream the N-word as loud as I can and be like, they know what that one is. They know what that one is.
They know what that one is.
I worry about Noah in today's political society. He's got a green card and he's like an American citizen and everything, but it doesn't seem to be stopping people from harassing them. So like I feel like all it would take would be like somebody he works for just to be like, he's not here legally. And then he'd get a knock on his door.
But he's so legal.
He is. He's extremely legal, but that's not going to stop them from knocking on his door and harassing him.
He doesn't even do like petty illegal shit like most people do.
That's true. He doesn't pirate anything. He doesn't
smoke pot. He doesn't do any of like the petty shit that people would otherwise do. He really doesn't do.
No. He's a 100% like clean cut guy.
I'm sure he does like minor traffic violations sometimes, like we all do,
Mexicans do. But the weird thing about his like pirating thing is that he and his brother, when they were living together, when they were like 18, 19, they got an actual cease and desist because his brother tried to download Dodgeball, the movie, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I think he was just downloading. And I was
Dodgeball, of all things.
Yeah, you got a cease and desist over Dodgeball. So since then, Noah's been like, yeah, I'm not downloading anything. They already got me. They got my name. They put it on a radar, you know?
Wow, he was that one guy.
He was that one guy.
One email to once that they probably deleted right after because they never follow that shit up.
Yeah, it's like having...
If you're not like part of a major distribution center of pirated material, you're not actually on anyone's radar. If you do get arrested somehow or fined, I guess more likely, for like downloading something, that was like getting struck by lightning twice while walking home.
Yeah, it's $5,000 though.
It's not impossible, but it is not something you should be dreading or preparing for in your everyday life.
Did I already tell you that my neighbor when I was a kid went to prison for piracy?
I believe, yes. I believe you have shared that.
It's fucking weird because like that scared the shit out of me as a child, but now that I'm an adult, I was like, what? How?
Yeah.
I like, really? How?
Like, you really, it is like getting struck by lightning twice while walking home. Like, that is
my man was using
astronomically
LimeWire and got caught.
He must have been downloading some odd things, too. I'm sure that there was not... Bro didn't have, like, the full discography of Weird Al.
I mean, I was a child. I'm pretty sure they didn't tell me everything that he did. But for all I know, it could have been, like... Could have been the very first Fantastic Four movie and then 50 files of child porn. Like, for all I know.
It's a decent chance it was that.
Yeah, because, like, there's no way that, like, who was going to tell me, like, oh, he had child porn on his computer, 7-year-old. Let's talk about this.
He might have gotten flagged by Warner Brothers or some shit, like some early version of one of those detection bots or something. But then, the police don't come and pull you out of your house again for,
not in Mississippi, especially.
Illegally owning, 5 Britney Spears album and
Okay, Britney Spears albums are pretty important to Mississippi culturally. So that, you need to pick a different artist if you're going to say that the police aren't going to show up and pull you out of your house.
Okay, how about Muddy Waters?
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Also important culturally to Mississippi, but
Yeah, in a different way.
You get an asterisk there. You're allowed to steal from them.
It's just like, what are you stealing? Is it... Oh, it's music from a black man. Okay,
that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
fine. Britney Spears is a national treasure.
Mm-hmm. She's a white woman who has a southern accent. So
which is absolutely...
I sometimes forget that she has a southern accent because I almost never hear her speak.
She's from Nashville or something, isn't she?
No, she's from Mississippi.
Is she really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she is.
She's actually from Mississippi.
Where is she from in Mississippi?
Fuck if I know, dude. Some podunk town. God knows. 90% of Mississippi is some podunk town.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it's true.
It wasn't Tupelo or Jackson.
No. Or Starkville
or Oxford.
Yeah,
so
we've got 4 cities that anybody knows the name of.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she's from Pascagoula. That used to be important.
Iuka's kind of important now.
Pascagoula was important during World War II because it was such a big shipyard. I don't honestly know what the fuck is in Iuka.
You know what? Well, there's like a D&D tavern up there or something.
That's cool, but that is definitely not something that would put you on the map as important.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is the more I look into Iuka, the more I'm like, they got stuff in Iuka.
Is it kind of like Rumors, where it's just like,
Yeah.
it's not that you go to the
Yes.
South for the gay club, but this is a popular joint because it's the only gay
it's
club
the only
here,
club.
you know?
It's the only club.
Or it's a bar. It's a
Yeah.
gay bar, I believe.
Rumors isn't
specifically.
even open anymore, right?
I don't know. I never went. I should have back
Yeah.
when it was open, but all I ever did was go to Dr. Love's on gay night a couple times.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Love's Club.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dude,
That place was always teetering on being shut down and reopened.
which happened constantly in my memory.
I vaguely remember some people saying that the titular Dr. Love himself was not very much on the up and up.
I played a show there one time.
Did you?
Yeah, I played a show with a rock band that I was in, and we did terribly. I threw a
as
band
one
together
does.
at like the last minute, basically.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I was young. Who cares? This was like last week. I was young. I don't know. I've gotten more into.
He was still in his early 30s. He's figuring things out.
Yeah. What age do you think it is where it's just like there's no like excuse anymore? You're like an adult and you know better, that kind of shit. Because the older I get, the more that number goes up. I found like that.
I'll definitely be an adult by the time I'm 40.
Yeah. It's just like if I make a mistake or somebody makes a mistake around me, I'm 32, right? So like, and then I see somebody 26 and I'm like, of course they did that. They're 26. Like, how old am I going to get until I'm looking at people and be like, no, they knew better.
I think you'll forgive different mistakes at different ages.
Probably.
And you'll understand more the older you get. So, like, when you're 45, you'll see someone say something stupid at 37 and be like, remember when I was that dumb?
Yeah.
And it's just like, like you're pretty fucking close, all things considered.
When I think of that kind of stuff, I think of like my parents telling me that like it gets easier to recognize that you're going to die and then have less stress about it the older you get.
It's got dark and deep. Really
I know,
quickly
but
there,
well, I mean, this isn't a
yeah.
comedy show. Will's not here. We don't have a communist to make fun of and make him do math and get
Is
it
that
wrong.
why they call it comedy?
Yes, yes, that's what it is.
Comedy?
Comedy, yeah.
Oh, I've been spelling
Honestly,
it wrong.
that would be a good bit, like a stand-up bit. You were just an extremist communist, but you're like a dumbass. You're up there wearing like a Che Guevara shirt and like a red bandana and like a. I guess in Mississippi you could probably take like a fake AK-47 on stage.
Yeah,
know?
honestly, that would probably slap pretty hard at the right redneck places.
Oh yeah. All you got to do is just say like, "Well, I supported Kamala Harris," and then everybody it'd be an uproar.
Yeah, you'd be the heel.
Yes, of course.
Just
I mean-
make sure you say something about wanting everyone in government to be trans people of color or something.
Yes, yeah. We need more trans people of color in government. I feel like
The people need to be represented, and we all know that we're 80% trans people of color here.
who's
in Mississippi.
the fucking heel in this show? Is it Will? Because like he's the communist. Yeah,
he's never going to listen to this. So
No, absolutely.
We can pretty much talk dog shit about him.
His penis wasn't nearly as big as I thought it would be.
It wasn't nearly as brown as I thought it would be.
It was very tiny.
Just, it failed to impress on multiple levels.
Yeah, I know. I mean, basically, I lost so much respect for him that day. An absurd amount of respect.
Imagine what's going to happen when his new girlfriend finally sees it.
God.
To be a fly on the wall in that room. Huh?
Yeah, he's just walking around like holding a book in front of his dick so that she can't see him naked. He doesn't do he does the never nude bit from Arrested Development. He's wearing fucking booty shorts in the shower just so his girlfriend never sees his dick. I wonder.
Never nude? What?
Yeah, you've never seen Arrested Development?
I've heard of Arrested Development, but honestly, it was a hair too depressing.
It's not a depressing show. What do you mean?
I don't know. I have to be in the right mood to see failures and assholes just stumble through life like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's all through the eyes of a guy who is like the responsible guy in the family. And then everybody else in his family is kind of like they're caricatures. They're just a caricature of like something shitty.
I got to be in the right mood for that Always Sunny style.
Yeah, it's not nearly as dark as Always Sunny.
Yeah,
all the
Always Sunny.
mistakes in Arrested Development are like lighter. Like one of the guys paints himself blue and then he comes out and he says that he blew himself. Like that's a famous bit from that show. Like it's not dark comedy. And that same guy is a never nude. He wears booty shorts in the shower and stuff, and it's like a big contentious topic in his marriage.
I can't understand being a never nude. I mean, I don't like walking barefoot anywhere anymore because I always hurt my feet. but
Jesus
that's
Christ. Walking barefoot in Mississippi is like a fucking death sentence, though. Like you're
more-
gonna...
Yeah, all the grass is all dry and angry and wants to stab you in the feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's brambles literally everywhere.
That's not even what I'm talking about. Just normal ass grass gets like hard and woody and then stabs your feet. Then there are plants that Patrick here is talking about that are literally designed to cut and stab you.
Yes, yeah. And then
there's
you've got,
like 10.
there's
like 10
so
different
many of them
kinds.
here. There's so many. Then you've got the fucking...
Even there's like 15 different types of flowers that are on just thorniest fucking vines. And even the blackberries covered in super tiny thorns that break off in my skin and stay there.
Is that how blackberries work?
Blackberries have shit tons of thorns, yeah. The berries themselves don't, but
Okay.
like the
imagine
vine
if
they
I thought you
grow
were saying
on-
they did. And I was like, imagine if they did. Jesus Christ.
No, the vine they grow on has a bunch of tiny thorns.
it would be
and
the
so-
anti-rape device from Africa just hanging
Ugh.
from a tree, you know? Like it'd just be that everywhere. And then every time you have to pick berries from a tree, you'd have to take all the fucking thorns off.
Oof.
It'd be a good time. We'd
Yeah.
let the Mexicans do that one.
We'd let them do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We'd let them do that
We'd
one.
let the ones that, aren't here illegally do it for $4 an hour.
No. Even the ones who are illegal, according to Donald Trump, we're getting amnesty for farmers. Did you? That's a real thing.
I
That's
do
he's
know that.
actually
That's
said.
just like, wasn't...
My man is
So-
half backpedaling.
So did you not want to give those jobs to Americans, or the farmers just suddenly all showed up and there's like, hey, we,
Absolutely. That's what
we
it
are
was.
not going to make a profit if we have to spend like $10, $15 an hour on these employees. The only way we can do this is by having no benefits, $4
Just
an
slave
hour,
labor. Yes.
borderline slave labor of people who have no other choice. Like
Yeah.
that is the only way this works, and we keep it this cheap.
I feel
or
like a
else.
lot of Donald Trump's decisions are based on situations like that where he
Yeah.
says something and then he like goes, somebody comes and talks to him and advises him on the thing that he said.
advises.
Yeah. And then they go, shit. Okay. Yeah. We're going to run out of food.
Yeah. That's kind of important.
Fucking robots
Like
are going to
the
do that shit.
tariffs.
Yeah. Fucking robots are
like-
going to do that shit, dude.
It was like so crazy about the tariffs going through, and then he does, and there's like these 50-60% tariffs on like every country, and then next week he's like, well, I'm just gonna like pull like 80% of those back down.
Yeah,
Like,
because
you
the
know,
guy from Walmart came to him and was like, look, I run this country, and our economy will implode if Walmart does not
if
exist.
I can't sell paper plates for under $3 for 50, there will be blood in the streets.
Yeah,
President
yeah.
Trump. Like, you do not understand.
Sometimes I wonder how little it would take for like there to be a war in America, just completely based off of something as
I don't
small
know.
as like Walmart closing.
I've seen little things change in a way that anyone who would think about would know that it will be a brief change and then
Yeah.
it will be fine afterwards. Like the eggs
Yes, the eggs.
a little while ago.
That fucking the Huddle House here still has a fucking 50% surcharge on the eggs.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Well,
Eggs aren't expensive anymore. Why are they still? They're just gonna make that the new normal.
they're just going to leave it there until people complain about it on a larger scale,
Which
so that they
they
can
won't.
keep making extra money. Because it's not big enough to notice,
Ugh.
and so they'll just keep doing it because who's going to stop them?
Yeah. So when's the last time you had sex? Just
About
counting
3 or
on
4 hours ago.
34 hours ago.
About 3 or 4
3 or
hours
4
ago.
hours ago. Okay, that's why you're in such a good mood today. That makes a lot of sense. Usually you come in here throwing shit, screaming. This is the first time you come in and not hit my wife. So, yeah.
I usually kill one of the cats.
Yeah, well, we've got so many of them.
We do.
We don't even notice.
That's just a new one here for me to kill every time I show up.
Anyways, how was it?
It was pretty good.
Was it
Yeah.
good? It was a good
It was
time?
wake up sex, so
Jesus.
it's always pretty cool.
No, absolutely not. That's one of those things where people talk about liking it, and then when it finally happened to me, I was like, oh God, can I please have coffee first? I can tell I'm getting older. I'm not my dad's age where I'm gonna take breed to the Wendy's and then tell them my dick doesn't work anymore. But like, you know, I don't want
don't work no more, son.
Well, it's a real thing that happened to me, dude. My dick don't work. I can't believe my father did that.
Totally smash a big juicy Wendy's burger right now.
Oh my God,
Sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is smoke a little bit of weed after your sex, and then a Wendy's burger just comes straight into your mind immediately after.
Yeah, if I wasn't close to broke, I'd probably be where I was going after this podcast. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy a shit ton of Dr. Pepper and call it a day.
No, I've got money, and I'm not buying you a Wendy's burger.
I'll
buy my own self a Wendy's burger.
Just buy yourself a Wendy's burger and eat it in front of me?
No, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna do that thing where I hang it from the ceiling and put a ladder, like for the monkeys, and then I'll get Will and Kira in here, and then every time you touch it, that it'll shock you, and then I'll leave you in here so that you can start hitting them when they try to go get it. You'll learn eventually.
So I can't use the ladder to get the burger, but harnessing my animal instincts, you know that I'll prevent the other two who could safely climb the ladder, thus resulting instead of us splitting the burger 3 ways, none of the burger will sit up there and rot.
Yeah, crabs in a bucket. It's a crabs in the bucket situation. Yeah. I've
off the Boondocks.
Have you ever been like? I mean, you're not really cruel enough for this to be a thing that I think that you might have ever done. But have you ever done like a crabs in a bucket, like if I can't have it, nobody can have it type of thing? Because I definitely have, and it was not that long ago.
God. I feel like I must have done something like that in the pettiness of like being a young kid.
Being like a
but
6-year-old?
I can't really remember any situation, not even something like, I don't know. I've never been like, if I can't play with the toy, I'm going to break it kind of deal. Like, I've never done that. I feel like I must have done that at least like
surely you have 2 brothers.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. At some point you snapped a CD in half.
But then like, I don't know. Like I've always been an overthinker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, well, no, I can just like steal it back later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, yeah. Sneaky. You were a sneaky little gremlin, is what you were. And
I mean, again, 2 brothers.
Well,
I was a middle child, so I had to learn to sneak around the baby and the, golden child.
Yeah. The golden child. What? Your older brother is the golden child?
He was crazy, successful, and smart in his early years.
Now he's just crazy.
And then,
yeah.
When you had a mom like ours,
yes.
You'll
what
learn
was
to
he
embrace the
with?
madness.
What was he successful at?
Well, he got good grades. He was smart, generally speaking, as far as that's concerned. And then also he was crazy athletic. He didn't just have black belt in Taekwondo; he taught it.
He had black face in Taekwondo.
Yes. But he did decent with extracurriculars. He just kind of fucked off with his girlfriend for a while after he graduated high school. But then after like a year or 2, maybe 3 of that, welcome
to my dojo. I am Sensei Shoepolish, and you will dress me as such.
Why is it always got to go back to blackface?
I don't know, because blackface is like the funniest shit in the world. It's so absurd.
Honestly, it's so on the nose. Like in the world of like modern world where like racism is generally taboo.
That's why I wanted to be in World War II.
Of it being so silly and blatant.
Yeah.
Like it.
In World War II, they wore a dress, put on shoe polish, and then put on a play for their boys. You know what I'm saying? I want to live in that environment.
Blackface has almost gone full circle.
Yes, yeah.
It went from like totally acceptable way to portray black people in the South, like we're all laughing at it, to like, oh yeah, no, that's probably not okay.
Yeah.
And then like it's at like a fever pitch right now to where if you were to like,
yeah, now that Donald Trump's in power, yes.
If a white man were to go out in blackface, he might very ironically get lynched.
Yes,
like
yeah.
It's depending on where you go. But it's almost like that. It is 11:59 on that clock. Like
fucking Donald Trump is this close from being a guy in blackface.
He's a guy in orange face.
Yeah, he's obviously got something on his face. Like, why?
He is not his own natural skin shade. No, he's not.
What does he do? Is that just spray on tan? That's what everybody says.
What is he ethnically speaking? Because he's so orange, I can't
That's
think
a
of
real good
what
question.
type of white person he is.
Is he so rich that I'll never know that he was actually ethnically Jewish? Is that the big secret?
He's definitely, yes. If he is and didn't want people to know, then yes, that would be possible, I believe.
Let me see what ethnicity.
Even though he's not the richest guy in the world, he's so conniving that, like, you know,
a Machiavellian figure who keeps doing dumb shit.
He's got a lot of stock in fucking with people, and he's good at it.
He has a lot of stock in fucking with people.
He does.
Yeah,
he's
does.
good at it. It's one of the, like, you know,
he's German, Scottish, and English.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, his mother is Scottish and his dad is German. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what his dad did in Germany. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Shh. No.
Yeah, you might have been going in the wrong direction when you say he might secretly be Jewish, but anyway, I digress.
Two sides of the same coin. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, since the Jews are the fascists now.
Yes.
Whatever.
I mean, Will's not here, so we can't really get into it. But the Jews are the fascists now. That's it.
Like
and
most global conflicts, dude, I have just lost interest to a certain degree.
Yeah, until it becomes World War and you can dress in a dress and put on shoe polish for your boys, you're not interested. I understand.
I mean, look, the 24-hour news cycle has, like, killed things being dramatic for me.
Yes.
Like, because I can't stop my life and care about every Chinese orphan that dies.
Yes.
Okay? Like, and I gotta be completely honest.
All that energy goes to the white ones that die.
Well, that's actually something that, like, I'm still confused about.
That's just correct. Yes, actually, for some reason.
It's just like, you know, a 13 kiloton, like, terrorist bomb goes off in, let's say, Vietnam tomorrow. And it's just like, you know, it went off in the middle of a shopping mall, you know, 14,000 dead. The town is
If this happens tomorrow, do you have any idea how much trouble you're going to be in?
And then it's just like,
just
you know,
wait.
You forgot. 2 Americans killed.
Oh my God, yeah. 2 Americans.
They will always specify. And it's just like.
It's because the fucking blowing up the boat in World War II and then having some Americans die was like the real
story.
starting.
Americans is, like, somehow important.
Also,
like,
Americans are fucking everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yes.
You bomb anything with a big enough bomb, you'll kill an American or two.
Oh, yeah.
We get around.
Yeah, we're an infestation.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, we've got our dick, like, you know, head in the butt crack of every nation on the earth.
I've got my dick in every pie.
A little bit.
Yeah. In every American pie. You and Will in a foxhole. Which one of us is going to be dressing up in a dress and putting on shoe polish?
If you're eating something that you can afford, it's got a little bit of my balls on it. Let me just go ahead and tell you right now. Because I'm the United States of America, and thank you very much. I kind of, you know, yeah, it says made in China, but what do you think owns the company?
Yeah, also there's a bunch of sugar. There's a bunch of sugar in it.
There's also a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
I wonder where China will be in 100 years.
In 100 years, back to being the Ming Dynasty.
You think it'll be better?
Back to the Warring States period.
I don't know. You think it might be like, you know,
like
think they might take over? Like, in a good way. Like, you know,
I think
just
once
they'll be the main power for a while.
Now, once, like, Xi Jinping dies, I think it's going to be, like, a real big upset. At the moment, that guy has, like, consolidated enough power to where he's, like, not dangerous, really.
I don't know. How long has Xi Jinping been in power?
A while, like 20 years. He just got elected again for the 5th time.
Because I vaguely remember, like, you know, China having a new guy in charge, but I don't really remember. I just know that they do still have elections and shit. So it's like,
it's one of those things
also,
where
I hate that, like, my whole life, when discussing politics and stuff, they were just like, communism is the opposite of democracy. And it's just like, wait, hold on. Because the more I keep looking into this, it seems like every major government uses democracy now.
Yeah, it's
like,
a state.
That's just, democracy is just when we choose to vote on things instead of just deciding people to make decisions.
I've got a very good thing that just happened for the podcast,
so, like,
Eric.
Communists are democratic. they just run the government in a
They have a
communist
republic with
way.
a guy on like it's really in charge of it.
Yeah.
I asked, I use DeepSeek instead of ChatGPT.
Yeah, the Chinese one, right?
Yeah. And I asked, how long has Xi Jinping been in power? And it just immediately said, sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else. They don't want you knowing that one. They do not want you knowing that one.
Like, that's not important.
No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Let's ask ChatGPT and see if it'll actually answer too.
Let's see how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. How long in power?
As Mr. Jinping.
Yeah, he's been in power since 2012.
Oh, well, that's not that long.
Yeah, we're in 2025, so it's 13 years he's been in power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how term limitations work in China, but I assume not well and not many.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So all things considered, 13 years, that's not that crazy.
Ever since Mao, didn't like a lot of people die in office as the prime minister
for
of
reasons?
China? Yeah.
I feel like those reasons are probably diverse.
There was a new guy who got thrown out of a window in Russia. He got
classic
defenestrated.
defenestration.
Yes, yeah, he was. I don't remember what he was. He was just some businessman. And he was like the CEO of a company, and they threw him out of a window.
He wasn't playing ball.
What's our version of that in America? Of like,
I think it's just that.
is it? No, I mean like throwing people out of a window. Is it just shooting them with denied, deposed, whatever bullets?
It's not impossible, but man, I feel like they just have accidents, you know?
Yeah.
It's not always the same thing, but I assume
Somebody cuts a brake line or...
Yeah.
We've never shot down a plane
imagine
to kill one of our own guys, have we?
There's a lot of, considering all the food and stuff that's around these days and, you know, what rich people can eat, it's probably just easiest to just poison them in such a way that gives them, like, you know, a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
probably.
And it's just like, oh, yep, he loved sirloin.
Also, they're already fat enough to where it's like, yeah, okay. This was on its way.
Yeah, this isn't your, you know, fucking pretty boy figurehead people who they, you know, put in charge of, like, you know, media stuff. This is the fat asshole who just rakes in the money.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, no one's going to be super fucking surprised if a 64-year-old fat amoral dickhead, you know, has a stroke or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so all you got to do is...
Our president is a fat amoral dickhead. I mean, like, it is honestly
they're a dime
literally
a dozen.
Yeah, it's a part of our culture at this point.
Yeah, we just expect there to be amoral, capitalistic dickheads
who's 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah,
and he's consolidated enough power to where he has been in charge of something for 50 years and probably got it from his dad.
Yeah, pretty much. And we just look at that and we're just like, well, communism ain't better. Whatever.
We look at that and we
like,
load one bullet into the revolver every morning and then just spin it and hear a click and then just cry a single tear and then clock in at work.
I don't think it's insanely like worse in a lot of ways. Like, it depends on who you're talking about, like what country and, well, what's your job in that country.
Yeah, if you're working for Jeff Bezos, it's not
as bad.
I don't know. The Amazon does have
it depends on what level.
Yeah. No, if you're working above the piss cage level, then...
Yeah, you're probably doing all right.
Yeah. I mean, the irony of there even being a piss... Did they fix that? Is that still a thing where people are peeing in bottles to work in the Amazon factory?
Do not follow that story, so I could not tell you.
I was surprised people are even worried about that because truckers do that. Truckers piss in a bottle, and they're basically just in a tiny truck in a warehouse, in a cage.
Yeah. I feel like truckers, it's kind of like a little more 50-50 on that one, where like there's definitely companies that are pressing these amateur truckers to go further and faster, and they break more rules, and
they do meth to stay awake, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, you do that, and you don't even drive a truck,
right?
Yeah,
but
just
and then
clean
there's
more
like
dog cages.
And then there's the old heads who are doing it like more by the books and stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's a trucker's doing that stuff like pissing in bottles because he's like, I can get like, 40 more miles tonight and I can get, 40 more miles worth of payment.
Dude, I saw a truck the other day that said $2,500 a week payment. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Especially if they're paying based on like how far you move and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then it's a real incentive to like piss in a bottle and don't make stops.
That's $120,000 a year.
Yeah, trucking can pay very good.
I like driving for a living. If I didn't have like the fucking ball and chain, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't have that, I'd be out there trucking, dude.
I don't know. Trucking never really sounded like a bad occupation to me. I'm more of a creature of habit. I like staying in one place.
You seem like the type of guy who wouldn't like having a CDL.
I don't like...
You don't like driving a U-Haul, much less an 18-wheeler. I've seen you play Truck Simulator. I've seen how you react to mild traffic infractions.
Yeah, no, that would probably... I also like... If I was trucking, imagine going through like Atlanta during like traffic and being on those like 8-lane roads trying to like switch lanes to get to the right exit and shit.
It'd be like...
It'd be a goddamn nightmare.
I don't know. Like, if people are scared of you as an 18-wheeler, I feel like if you just put a little bit of aggression on it,
that's
put a little stank on your driving.
But like, you know, the minute you take advantage of like people being scared of you and think that you've got this is the moment you finally like, you know,
kill a family of 2.
The most litigious lawyer and his family off the road, you know?
Yes, yeah.
Like that's my luck too.
Yeah, but you'd be doing the world a service if you run a lawyer off the road.
Not if he survives.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. But if you kill his progeny, there's not going to be another one of him. So
you reduce the total amount of potential lawyers.
Exactly. That's a good thing that you can do for the world.
And, you know, who hasn't run into that kid who's like, my dad's a lawyer and blah, 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 blah.
I never knew that kid. The only one that I did know, his dad and him did not get along. Like,
oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say.
I was just about to say. Oh yeah. I don't really know any stuck-up lawyers' kids either. I just know the one, and he doesn't.
The one that got mugged from when he pulled out a Wakizashi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know. We're talking about the same guy.
Yeah.
And people who listen to this podcast are going to be like, "Is that the kid that went to knife throwing school?" No. This is just a tiny guy.
Different guy.
Pulling out a Wakizashi in Mississippi is like its own mood too.
It was definitely a very, very rare instance where whipping out a Wakizashi had you being the cooler guy.
Yeah, had some actual,
That will never happen to him again for the rest of his life. And my entire life, it will probably never happen.
And it may have never happened the first time he made it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
We did often call him the Bard.
Yes.
He was quite the weaver of stories.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's a genuine compliment. The guy is a great DM.
Yeah.
A little aloof, but...
Yeah, probably. I lived with him. I'm aware.
Yeah, he lived with me.
Did he?
Yeah.
He called me impulsive. That was his dislike of me. And he also told
be impulsive, yeah. Oh, yeah. You like to jump into shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I get excited about something and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that I was impulsive and he told my boss's daughter that I was in a cult. And then and I had to be in a meeting with all the people in my office and then them bring that up and be like, I hear you're in a cult. Can you care to elaborate? And it was because it was just some dumb
I feel like you're
bit.
The kind of guy who would like let a cult have a meeting in your house, but you're also not the kind of guy who would actually join a cult. Like,
no, I'd be the guy who runs the cult.
You're crazy possibly. Yeah. You're crazy open-minded enough to like let your friend and his 3 other friends have like a dumb cult meeting in your house, but not dumb enough to join the cult.
I'd put the Halloween decorations up for them.
Yeah, like you're that weird kind of supportive like that.
Have the little bowl where it grabs your hand if you try to take a candy or when they put their keys in there.
Sure.
Yeah, have Lurch from the Addams Family and it's just in the corner.
You'd have fun with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You got that little machine where it's constantly like screaming every 5 minutes just to interrupt things. And what's the fucking song? It was a Monster Mash.
It was a Monster Mash.
Yeah, that is cult music right there. 3 guys in robes sitting in this room around a circular table.
Yes.
I've just done all of the fake spider webs and stuff.
Oh, is this the day we're finally going to pull out the Ouija board?
Oh, yeah. The Ouija board's in the other room.
I was about to say, it's not up there. I don't see it.
I've got a Ouija board, but we're
finally going to do magic on the podcast.
I'm a fucking child. I don't fucking... No,
You
I'm the opposite of a
scared
child.
the Ouija board?
I don't think it's going to do anything. I know it's not going to do anything. It's fucking Parker Brothers or whatever. If it did something, Hasbro wouldn't be selling it. It'd be Lockheed Martin would be selling it.
You and your logic.
Yes, of course.
Are you saying it's not going to like cause demons to follow us home?
I have a guy that I work with that is legitimately of the opinion that Ouija boards are scary.
Yeah. If you mention Ouija boards in mixed company of like 10 people, 3 people will leave the room.
Yeah, it's
like,
I don't get it.
One of them will be shaking his head saying the stupidest shit ever, and the other 2 will be like crossing themselves and like, you know, going to run to their Bibles or possibly even their voodoo shrine, but they do believe that you're potentially in danger because you pulled that thing out or are talking about it or whatever.
Are you one of those guys who gets scared like when he like opens and shuts his like medicine cabinet mirror in his bathroom because you've seen so much in movies where like you close it and then there's something behind you?
I keep forgetting that we have one of those.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's a good answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen so much like horror movie tropes that I get scared of them happening in real life.
I gotta be honest, I enjoy consuming a lot of horror material, especially like short stories that I can just listen to while
the doujinshis.
Yes, of course.
Those are kind of like short stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mostly of Caillou.
Yes.
But
Caillou Doujinshi. Guru Doujinshi of Caillou. I almost said Cairo. That's his Egyptian cousin. He's wearing the big old fucking pharaoh mask.
I'd love to visit Cairo one day.
It's Cairo, his cousin, wearing an Anubis mask and then removing Caillou's fucking intestines out of his body with really, really old materials and tools.
A very specific taste.
Yes. There's got to be like a Caillou.
I've got a mummification kink. What can I say?
Yeah. There's got to be Caillou Doujinshi out there, right?
Cairo Caillou is the name of that
Patrick,
series.
is there Caillou Doujinshi out there?
Yep.
It's got to be real and Japanese.
And I'm fairly certain we could not put that up on our thing.
You know what? They always sell the cover. The cover's always censored. It says like 18 or whatever. Find that part, Patrick. See if you can put that up on the screen.
Lovely.
Japanese Caillou Doujin.
Everybody loves Caillou too.
Yeah,
everyone hates
he's
Caillou.
completely been taken over by Bluey. Everybody loves Bluey now.
Bluey doesn't suck.
Does it not?
It doesn't. No.
Really?
I'm sure it's still like mind-numbingly boring, but it's like.
But the characters are hot. I understand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is what separates it from Caillou.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh, Bandit.
Yeah, Caillou was never. Wait, Bandit's the
dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Bandit the dad? Please tell me Bandit's the guy.
Also,
Bandit
Bluey, like both the kids are girls. Like
Bluey's a girl.
Bluey is a girl. Yeah.
What's her deal? She's just like smart or something.
A small child. No,
there's nothing to it.
They're a normal family of dog people. There are dog puns, and they have very supportive parents. That's it.
Very supportive parents. Okay, so I see why you watch it.
It's I don't know. Yeah.
It's escapism for you. It's
imagine growing up with a mother that loves you. It's a real fantasy show. It's not very realistic. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why having the dog running around is probably not a great idea.
Well,
he just pulled
still going.
Oh yeah, it's still going. Still going.
This thing's got some meat on
it's got some. Yeah. Let me just put him in the cage. Hold on.
All right. I'll hold the show down. Yeah. All right. I know what everyone really came here for. It's to hear me singing. I'm done singing. All right, cool.
I dreamed a dream. It's a song that we both know.
I don't want to
Set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart, I have but one desire, and that is you. No other will do.
And that's what we can't, this is stuff we can do when Will's not
exactly,
here.
Yeah. Will is.
I think Will could harmonize.
No, he's tone
he
deaf.
Not?
Yeah, no, he's completely tone deaf. Like
really?
He can't. Yeah. He can't tell the difference between notes and shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's, I can, I'm like half and half kind of deal where like I can't.
You're a theater guy. You can.
Yeah, I'm
singing.
a theater guy, so I had to learn enough to like rudimentarily translate music. I could look at music on a sheet of paper, and if other people are there playing instruments or like doing cues and stuff, I can use the information there to appear as though I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's how I got through choir in college.
Yeah, I can see that the little symbols go up or
and down. Yeah.
And I know how long you're supposed to hold for the symbols.
Yes.
I know how to separate the words out.
Ugh.
I know what tempo is.
I miss being in choir. I loved being in choir.
Yeah. Being in choir was kind of nice.
If I just had $1 million and that was one of those situations where it's like, you can go to college for whatever you want. You're rich. I would have like majored in singing or something. That would have been fun.
I always liked choir. I think despite, ravaging my body with like, cigarette smoke and the like, I still have better breath control than most people.
Yeah. I mean, you learn that shit when you're in choir.
Well, it's like I did ballet, taekwondo, and like, choir. So like breathing exercises and stuff was
you basically got Jojo Hamon.
Yeah, like my breathing is great.
Did you have to take choir for a theater major? It seems like something. No, really?
Yeah, no. It's completely optional. It's completely different. I mean, if you want to be in a musical, you probably need to know some of that shit.
Yeah.
But it was not a requirement. No.
Did you have to do the art appreciation or music appreciation? That seems like something they would make you do for a choir thing or for a theater thing.
Well, when I went to community college, they didn't have a theater program. They did have a dinner theater thing that they would do once a year.
A fucking what?
A dinner theater.
Oh, so like people eat while you do a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was actually in that 3 times in a row.
Jesus. Okay.
Because I took 5 semesters, and ironically, the 5th one was the semester they did dinner theater in. So I was
woo. What? Like, so wait, I thought you got a degree in theater. Did you not?
That was
get
community
your
theater. I got a degree from the community theater, and I took a theater appreciation class while I was there.
You can get a degree from the community theater?
Not the community theater, community college.
Okay, I was like, what?
My bad.
I was like,
my bad.
It wouldn't be that far off. Like,
you could probably do some stuff in community theater for college credit.
Definitely, yeah.
But that would be more like apprenticeship kind of thing.
So you got an associate's in theater?
Essentially, yes. It's really an associate's of the arts with a major in theater.
Associate's of the arts.
I did all of the theater I could do.
Yeah.
Like, more than most do as far as that's concerned.
And that worked out for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That worked out. And then I went to university, and I wasn't required to do anything other than theater classes.
I thought you were going to say I went to university and then I wasn't required to do anything, so I didn't. And then, I left that.
That was related to the problems of how I ended up dropping out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really drink. I drank a few. I drank while I was there, but I was never a big drinker.
Cast parties? You were doing fucking wrap up cast party shit?
No, honestly, I didn't drink with my fellow theater people much at all.
That would 100% be a thing that I could see you getting into.
I did some drugs with the theater people, but
nobody drinks like people after a fucking play. Yes.
Like me and the other theater people were always busy, so if we were doing anything, it was maybe smoking a blunt out back, but then we'd go back in and keep like doing our miniature stage constructions.
I was going to say, nobody actually appreciates how much physical work goes into being in theater.
Oh yeah, no. Most of the drinking and drugs I did was with the frat guys. The others, like one theater guy was an Adderall hookup for me. And so that was literally, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the Adderall, but like I was taking that shit so I could pull all-nighters and, finish big projects that I was doing.
How long did you stay in university?
1 year.
1 year? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say
2 semesters.
Yeah, you didn't get a fucking bachelor's out
I
of
did
it.
not know,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
We both got associate's degrees.
Which I guess, fuck me. It's not like having finished a theater degree would have, set me up anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little sad that I didn't
This
finish
is
still.
what it set you up for.
Yeah.
Doing this right here, this is the best that you got out of that.
I mean, in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
you got the theater thing, I got the IT thing, so I can put it on the computer. All you got to do is just talk into a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then that does work out for me. I think.
It does give you something to do.
It does. It gives me something to do that isn't something that I absolutely have to do. And weirdly enough, I have to do something I don't have to do to be mentally healthy.
Of course, yeah.
Like if I didn't come here, I would waste away to a certain degree. Part of my brain would like rot away and fall off if I didn't come here and do this.
I need stuff like this, in the same way. I should get back in like a band and start singing again.
This is like the only thing that I make any effort to do socially.
I don't blame you. At the very least, this is relaxing at this point since Will's not here, so... if knowing Will wasn't here, obviously I was extremely excited.
Audience, especially the 3 of y'all that comment.
Yes.
Yeah. Was that one guy who commented on the other one?
I don't know.
I'm not going to look all that up right now.
There's Orion something.
Yeah, Orion.
And then there's Mono.
Mono.
There's Mono.
He's on the Discord fucking constantly.
And then there's Ellipsis Mark, who is like...
Is that newer guy who was saying...
He's like the guy that has like a blue icon for his profile, and he's like our number 1 commenter or something.
Didn't somebody make something just recently?
About what?
About us.
Oh, yeah. We can't do that yet till Will's back, but somebody made a compilation of Mexican soap operas for us to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be a live stream. I've got to schedule that live stream, and then we're going to just live stream us doing that. The downside is I think we're going to have to do it. I don't know if we stream it on YouTube, I'm not sure if YouTube's going to take it down immediately. Because like if you live stream something and then you're live streaming like a movie, YouTube will detect it's a movie and then take you off air.
Oh.
So I'm like, I don't know how
clearly
far
we need to get
it.
on Kick.
Yes, clearly. Rumble, Kick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about Twitch. Twitch doesn't usually do that kind of shit.
Twitch doesn't know what the fuck their terms of service are or aren't.
I feel like I can manipulate it
crazy arbitrarily. Just say that you have Hassan Piker's dick in your mouth and you're practically invincible.
Ooh. Yeah, okay, yes, absolutely. That wouldn't even be a lie. Will and I both have Hassan Piker's dick in our mouths. And as
we
a
all
matter
know
of fact,
Will does. He just won't say it on
yeah,
air.
for a different reason. Yeah. Will's a communist. I'm just gay.
Fair enough.
Hassan's... Is he attractive? I don't even remember what he looks like.
Yeah, I think he's traditionally somewhat attractive.
Is he?
Yes.
He was like big into boxing or something.
I'm not sure about that.
Is he hotter or less hot than Markiplier?
Less hot.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, imagine if Markiplier didn't eat good.
Markiplier has... I mean, Markiplier was just set up for everything. Markiplier's fucking beautiful.
Just a delightful, pretty man.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
You know, not too offensive, but also like not a big pussy either.
You excited for his movie? Is that still coming out?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Yeah, he has. It was it was based on Dust Dev's game. I want to call it Blood Ocean, but that's the thing from fucking whatever.
Yeah, that's the Hassan guy. Yeah, he's traditionally relatively handsome.
He looks like his name is Hassan.
That's why he gets away with as much as he gets away with, because...
What is he, Middle Eastern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the fucking simps. He just sits there like guzzling terrorist cock, calling them freedom fighters, saying Israel's the worst thing ever.
Okay, so he's a brown guy, but he's not a Zionist.
America bad.
Big surprise.
Yeah, well, I mean, because he's Muslim.
Yeah. But, they're famously Zionists. They love Israel.
No. If I believe he just recently said, like a couple months ago, oh, targeting Israeli children is like fine.
Jesus Christ.
America,
it's like the joke I made earlier about attorneys and driving them off the road, but real life.
Yeah, he's all the way over there, like at the furthest end of the left.
Yeah.
Like, Will legitimately doesn't like Hassan.
It's got to be one of those things where he's like too extreme.
He is,
even for Will. Yeah.
Yeah, Will has a brain. How often he chooses to use it is up to him, but like he has
and what
one.
you make him use it for.
Yeah, like he's still young, but he's not retarded.
Yeah.
And
is that what Hassan's thing is? He's got like a lot of retarded children.
Yes, like any kind of like far left libtard, like let's just say a lot of the people in his orbit have nose rings and colored hair.
Yeah, a lot of basketball Americans. I understand what you're trying to say.
I was gonna, sure.
Yeah.
No, not really. I don't think so. I don't know if a lot of black women probably.
We got 5 more minutes of the show. This has been a chill episode. We didn't really.
It's been a chill episode. Yeah. We weren't really fighting anything. We'll talk about some more scandalous stuff next.
We should record
episode.
we should record a video game or something next episode, just to like.
Well, how do you want to cap this off then? You and me recently saw some new media.
Oh yeah. We've seen movies. You watched Ironheart.
I watched the first season of The Sandman when it came out years ago, and they just released the first half of the second season, and I watched all of that. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. A few little parts here and there where, because I've listened to like the main story via like audiobook, and I know that they trimmed some fat. They cut out one story beat and smushed a few characters into others, but none of it was too distracting. I was just like a character was dying, and I was just like, wait, Wanda? Isn't that the character from that other story that happened later? And then they do something from the end of that story beat at the end of the other one. I was like, oh yeah, that is the same character.
Okay, so character died and you didn't know who they are?
No, I did, and I was confused as to why they were dying there because I thought they were going to be involved in a different plot thread later on.
Okay.
And I was just like, were those supposed to be the same character? And I was like, oh no, they took that character from that plot thread because they still kind of liked its role.
Yeah.
And they were just like, we're just going to go ahead and do that because we can use that as a metaphor for what the main character's going through at the same time. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Some people will bitch about that one because the character's trans, but just want to put it out there. Character was trans when this was written in the 80s.
Okay.
This is not a shoehorned thing.
The character's trans, and I'm going to put it out there, I am also trans.
You have no idea what all I've transitioned from and to.
Yes.
I couldn't even describe that in
There's
one
a guy
full
out there
episode.
who has transitioned to a woman and then back to a man, then back to a woman, and then back to a man. And that guy is having a bad time.
It's like, you want to see my vagina?
Yes.
Old school Family Guy joke.
Old Family Guy joke.
Yeah, but
you watched Ironheart or whatever?
Yes, and
it's just black Iron Man. It's black female Iron Man.
No, I mean yes, in a way, but
how is that in a way? Is it a female black woman Iron Man? Yes, no.
I mean, literally speaking, yes, there is a black woman in an Iron Man outfit, but that's practically where the similarities
Not a suit,
stop.
just an outfit. She's just wearing like the Halloween.
It's a suit. It's a robot suit. It's vastly inferior to anything Stark's ever made, but it's fine. It's serviceable. The suit.
Yeah.
The suit is fine and serviceable.
She's fine and serviceable.
It falls apart like 3 times over the course of the series, but like that's
she's not wearing
really
the
super
suit
important.
that it falls apart. Some part of that just my interest starts and ends at the suit, and then when they're out of it, there's
trust
something
me,
about
the series
it
is not good when she has the suit on or off. It had some moments, same way like Thor Dark World did. Where
is it that bad? It's Thor Dark World bad?
No, it's worse.
It had an 8.6 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Look at the reviews, dude. It's all 5s and 1s.
Yeah,
like it's like, people are either giving it a 10 or they're giving it a 1. No one's being genuine about it. It's either the absolute worst thing they've ever seen or the best thing they've ever seen. And I'm here to tell you it's a 4.
Damn.
And I love this shit. Like I eat this shit up. She-Hulk was like a 6.5 to a 7 for me. Like,
and this is worse
4.
than She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Christ.
Well, because in She-Hulk everything was laughable. Like
even the twerking scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's dumb.
Yes.
Like, who cares? It's dumb. It's not trying to not be dumb.
Is that how She-Hulk worked? It was self-aware?
Yes.
Okay.
And people hated that too.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. It just didn't offend me. It just didn't. Nothing did.
You're telling me that a green woman twerking in a lawyer's outfit is not offending you somehow?
Nope.
How could
Didn't
that
touch
be?
me.
How could that possibly be?
A lot of reasons, but
Yeah,
I digress.
okay.
A lot of
Multiple
reasons why that
reasons.
didn't hurt my feelings.
Same
but
way that I feel about the female Galactus. Exact same thing going on there. But yes.
Silver Surfer. But
Yeah.
anyway, no, Galactus still boy.
Yeah, no, there's Galacta. There's a
Oh, there is one.
Yeah, there
but
is.
that's not in the. That's not.
She's
something
your
that's gonna be in the
favorite
next movie.
waifu, Eric. You don't have to pretend that you don't know who she is on the podcast.
No, so like Ironheart is, oof, man. Like I kept waiting for it to like get there, and one thing that they were touting, which is one of the main reasons I even bothered watching it, besides just being a gotta catch 'em all feeling at this point because I've seen so much, is that they were finally going to have Mephisto, Marvel's devil, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He's the devil like 85-90%. Like it's basically the Christian devil, but he is his own thing.
Okay.
But and it's Mephisto is his name. It was played by Sacha Baron Cohen, and I was waiting on that. I wanted that, and it's fine, but it was too little, too late to save the series.
Mephisto is what I gave Tanya last week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Mephisto, Eufisto.
Yes, absolutely. We were both there.
Weefisto.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Will was the only one who was not invited, but we sent him a VHS tape afterwards.
Yeah, so like she's super genius black girl, gets into MIT at age 15, makes her own Iron Man suit, comes from very little, and then she squanders everything.
I could not be less interested just off of that description.
It's honestly, it doesn't even really go there though.
It's just female empowerment.
Because episode 1, she's been at MIT for the better part of like 4 or 5 years, and she hasn't done dick all other than like tweak on her fucking Iron Man suit. And so they basically just kick her ass out.
Okay, so it's like the Oppenheimer movie.
They kick her out. She hooks up with some criminals. One has a magic cape. The criminal gang is the DEI hire gang. You've got the butch lesbians who brawl with people.
Yeah.
You have literally a drag queen off of RuPaul's Drag Race as one of the other characters. It is so blatant. This series was created and finished filming in 2022.
Yeah.
And they could not figure out a good way to release it, so they sharded it all out in 1 week.
Of course.
And like
Get your phone away
this
from
is
it.
how bad it is. The DEI gang, who are not good, not great.
You don't say.
Them fighting and losing to Ironheart was probably the best. That like I like the gang better than I like any of the other characters because at least there was something there.
Yeah, something was happening.
Yeah, something was happening. There were colors. I could clap my hands for a minute, like
a baby with keys jangling in his face.
At least there were some colors
Were
on
you
screen
stoned
and
watching
stuff.
this?
I tried stone, drunk, and sober, man.
And
just
none of
doesn't
it
work.
worked. None of it worked.
I think one of the biggest problems is that nothing happens with the fucking character.
That's a good review. I
she's an
tried this
entitled
stoned,
bitch.
sober, and drunk, and none of them had made me enjoy this.
She's entitled and doesn't appreciate anything or anyone at the beginning of the series. And it occurs to me, she never helps anyone throughout the whole series. She just helps herself. She doesn't save anyone. The closest thing she ever does to saving anyone is her like friend and stepdad died in a shooting a long time ago, and when she was trying to make an AI for her new suit, she fell asleep thinking of her dead friend, and the AI ended up being patterned off of her dead friend, and then she slowly gets to know the AI, and it's not her friend, but so close.
Do they fuck?
And she's like finally cool with it, and then she has to use like a magic power generator that to make her new suit. And it causes the AI to be deleted, and she's sad, and she can't make a new one. And then she defeats the villain with her new powered suit, and then the villain just fucks off. And Mephisto shows up, and he's just like, I'm the devil and I grant wishes. And she's like, cool, I'll wish my friend back. And she didn't even know that she had wished the actual friend back. She thought she had wished the AI version back. And then her real friend shows up physically. So she never saves anyone. The only one she saves is the friend that she also remade and then kind of killed again on accident. And she did so by making a deal with the devil.
So
and
she's just not likable, basically.
She's not likable. She doesn't save anyone. She's selfish the entire time. Little to nothing happens in the story.
Sounds like Will on this podcast.
The gang sucked, which is not say. I also some of the only scenes I liked were them fighting very briefly in like the 5th episode. There's another guy. The only white guy in the whole thing is a very demure and timid man who ends up becoming a villain by the end.
Yes. A demure white man up against the DEI gang.
He was with the DEI gang by the end. The DEI gang, they didn't even commit to them being villains. They figure out their leader killed off one of them earlier, and then they all just leave by the end of like the last episode. Well, they gotta have the
token white. He's just in there.
Mm-hmm. And
is he gay at least?
No, not as far as I can tell.
So he
does have a live, laugh, love sign on multiple places in his house. But
white people are disgusting.
Yeah, so like nothing happens. And then she makes a deal with the devil, and then the series ends. And like,
chef's kiss.
I liked Sacha Baron Cohen trying to do what he could with what little he had. The main villain guy is well acted, I guess. As I said, the DEI gang is blatant, but at least they had a moment or two.
Something to do.
Yeah, like that something happened. But Riri Williams sucks as a character. She's not likable.
I'm sorry, Riri Williams?
Yeah, R-I.
Her name is Riri.
Her name is Riri, yes.
Is that not short for anything? Her name is Riri?
As far as I know, it's just Riri. It's been Riri.
She's black?
Yeah, okay. So I think she was introduced in the comics in 2017.
Fucking Riri?
So very recently.
Okay.
Yep. I think in the comics she had a Tony Stark AI helping her. So
Riri's
didn't want to pay RDJ, so instead they had her make the AI that she has instead.
Of course. I feel like Riri is more of a like what you would nickname a Japanese guy where you can't say his name, not name a black daughter.
I don't know.
I guess it's right
I've
one
hung
step
out
from
with enough
Kiki.
black people to like know that like a simple nickname or a shortened first name kind of thing, that's pretty normal. Riri I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
If it was a nickname, sure. If it was a real name,
I have no fucking clue.
If you were born in the hospital and you looked at the nurse, they said, what is their name? And you go, Riri, I would assume that person is having a stroke or maybe like the morphine hasn't stopped
I don't
yet.
recall if that's actually short for anything or not. I don't know. I'm not going to revisit the series.
Yeah.
They're not going to get a season 2.
Of course not.
The only character that matters.
Better or worse than Madam Web?
Worse.
Ooh, that's bad.
Again,
that's bad.
Madam Web was aggressively mid.
Yes.
When I watched it, it was like a super solid 5.
So I would be like this is a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like mostly because it's boring, not because it actually does anything particularly wrong. That's my thing. Like a boring movie is like, I would still say like a 4 or 5 for me, as long as it's not like being technically bad. Like, you have to like fuck something up for me to get mean about it.
Well, Madam Web had a bunch of people that were playing teenagers who were obviously in their mid-30s. Like that was probably the most egregious thing to me.
Yeah, the girls didn't look like they could have been.
They're
easily
supposed to be
the same
16
age.
and they're like 35.
They could have easily been the same age as Madam Web. Just visually looking at them, I forget her real name.
Yeah,
Again.
Who remembers Madam Web's name? You're going to forget Riri tomorrow.
The only reason I had any kind of expectations for Madam Web is because I used to watch the Fox Spider-Man cartoon series.
I thought you were going to say because I've looked at a lot of Rule 34 of Madam Web over the course of my life.
What Rule 34 of Madam Web would look like.
I don't know. That's how we're going to cap off. That's how we're going to cap off this episode. Patrick, go ahead and put up some of that Madam Web Rule 34.
And Bambi.
Oh, thank God. This has been AnythingCast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
Put Will's face in Bambi again with a little heart shape. That was cute last time.
Make him give him a little wink.
All right, next episode we're going to play a video game.